Runn is quite unique is in our intent to be more focused on high level planning rather than your more granular task level planning. And the goal with Runn is to provide stakeholders across your company with that high level visibility that is often needed to really understand, like, do we have enough capacity? Do we have enough of the right roles, of the right skills to deliver on current and future workload or future demand? And much of that visibility is surfaced across what we call the people planner. And that's what you see up on my screen right now. And this allows us to understand both capacity and utilization at either a macro level. So right now we can see this by team, but I can also drill into this team and look at, let's say, our engineering team and see this at more of a micro level. But we can also group this by skills. And Jenna's going to touch on this a bit more. But all that data that we're looking at right now is anchored by the workload that you are assigning to your resources, so the skills that are required for your respective projects. But it's also leveraging the skills that you've loaded into your skills matrix within Runn. And I'm just going to pop into that right now. So just under our Manage tab, within our skills matrix, what this includes is a library of skills that either can be uploaded via CSV using our CSV uploader. You can do that in bulk. You can also connect Runn to an HR tool using Runn's API. But skills can also be updated by your admins and by your managers within the tool. The part I want to highlight is here we have sort of an outline of our respective skills. But if we pop over into the People tab, we can see this from more the people perspective. And we can see that for Aaron here as an example, that he's not only skilled in JavaScript, but he also has a proficiency level of 3 out of 4. And where we've seen this to be quite helpful is from an upskilling standpoint. And what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to jump over onto the project planner. So the project planner, you can think of this as really a portfolio view of all your confirmed projects, as well as any of your tentative projects. And this is where you're able to staff your projects. Now, right now, I'm showing all of our projects. We can also group our projects if we wanted to group them by client, if you wanted to group them by team. You can also set up custom fields that are bespoke to your organization. So as an example, I'll just select priority here, and we'll jump into high priority projects. Here we can see all of our high priority projects that are both confirmed as well as tentative. And it's within the project that you're able to better understand who is staffed against that project. Now, in this example, we can actually see this is staffed with placeholders. And just taking a half step back, the purpose of placeholders is to help understand or help you define the roles and skills that are needed on a project. So we often see this used early in the planning phase, where you have a project in your pipeline, maybe in the backlog, and you have to define the roles and skills that are needed. So we can see there's various placeholders on here right now. Now, I can also go ahead and I can add a specific individual. And I can use filter and look for a specific skill. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go ahead and add another placeholder. So I'll just pick a data engineer. And then from here, what I can do is I can assign that work either just by clicking and dragging. I can do this in hours. I can do this in a capacity percentage. I can do this in FTE. There's a lot of different options here. Now, you will notice that once I've added that time, what it's now asking me to do is add the requirements. And this is where the skills piece comes in. Because when we click into this, what this is doing is it's giving us the opportunity to better define exactly the type of resource that we need on that project. And you will see that if I go down here, I have the option to add skills. So I'll just go through and pick a couple let's say we'll say maybe Agile at least level 2, and then we'll pick this one as well. Now you can add additional attributes as well. You'll see as I scroll down, you can set up those custom fields so that they're bespoke to your business. And what happens here is when we save this, and then when we go back to the data engineer and I go to click on find person, what this is going to do is it's going to give you a predictive impact of what it would look like to transfer that work to those resources.